All right, the development age assessment for both skaters and goalies is designed to create a clear, structured pathway for long-term athlete growth. So this assessment helps parents identify exactly where development is occurring and where additional focus could be needed. So much like the elite age player assessment, the layout is exactly the same. If I go down to the bottom, I got 4 tabs, one for skaters, one for goalies. We have our summary tab, and we have our reference tab inside the assessment tab. So we'll just start with skaters here. We'll always have our kind of skill categories, subcategories, our assessment prompts. So this is like exactly what we're looking for, just a little bit more information. And then we have our assessment. Assessments are based out of 1 to 10. So our scaling is up here. You kind of see the where the scaling is. We have a spot for notes, evidence. We have our priority categories, so whether the skill is a low, medium, or high priority. We have development focus for the future, what we want to focus on, and then a couple more opportunities for a second or third assessment over the course of the season, or even in the off season. So a chance to do 3 different assessments on the page and see, be able to track where the development is. So again, gives the parent a really good ability to take the development into their own hands. So if I go through this, if I go down, we look at the goalie assessment. The goalie assessment looks the exact same. We have our categories, our subcategories. In the goalie assessment, we have movement foundations, save basics, puck play foundations, reading the game, compete in confidence, and our coachability. Back in the player assessment, this is for skaters. We have our skating foundations, puck skills, game awareness, compete in effort, team play, and coachability. So if we go through this, so I'll go pretty quickly here. If I'm a parent, we're sitting down. Again, we're going to take charge of our athletes' development. It's a good opportunity for parents, even in a 2-parent household. One of the fun exercises is to have each parent assess the athlete, and then compare your assessments. See if things are lining up with the player or with how you view some of the things, and then again see where, hey, do we agree on some of the things that need improvement? How do we improve these things and take a little bit more control of the athlete's development? So go through it quickly here. Skating foundations. So if I'm a parent, I'm looking through this. Balance and edges. The actual prompt shows balance, edge control, and confidence while moving, turning, and changing direction. So maybe we feel like, you know what, we're okay at this. We're kind of in the middle of the pack whenever our players on the ice in this category. Stops and starts, uses proper stops and starts with control, effort, and repeated habits. So maybe we think, you know what, we struggle with this, the stops and starts. He's not stopping, or the player's not stopping on both edges. Maybe they can only do T-stops at a certain point. They don't explode out of their stops. They're just having trouble with the stops and starts. Forward stride, so uses developing stride mechanics, effort, posture, and recovery. So basically good stride mechanics. And maybe we think, you know what, forward stride mechanics, our athlete's actually pretty good. We feel it's pretty good with those stride mechanics. So you can kind of see what's already happening. As it auto-populates, it'll give you kind of a color category on some of the things that are ranking higher and some of the things that are ranking lower. So if we move over to the priority list, when we look at our balance and edges, probably going to be a medium priority for us throughout the course of the season. Our stops and starts, this is something that's going to be a high. It's going to be a high priority for us. Our forward stride, we feel the player is actually really good mechanics, good recovery and posture. This might be something that is a little bit more of a low priority. So we're looking at our skating foundations. Just through this, we've identified that, look, like the stops and starts is something we really need to hone in on. So, you know, when you're taking control of some of this, maybe if you're a parent, most of the parents or coaches at the development levels are also parents. This gives you a good indication, like how often are we actually working on just stops and starts, the good mechanics, the different types of stops, the explosiveness out of the stops and starts, just changing direction with and without the puck. How many times are we actually doing that? And if we're not doing it enough, this might be a really good way to kind of track how those things are going throughout. So as we go through this, you go through each and every one. Handles the puck, so puck control will be the next one. Handles the puck with growth and confidence. You just keep on, again, evaluating the player or your athlete as we go through. So if I go to the summary, on our summary assessment dashboard, you see kind of the layout and how things go. Right now, our assessment 1, so we're doing just the assessment 1 at the time, we're averaging a 5.25 out of 10. So what that means in the player assessment is based out of these 4 numbers that we've put in, we're averaging a 5.25. So items completed in assessment 1, we've done 4 to 18 categories. So again, that just means we've done 4 out of the total 18 categories. So again, just tracking things. And high priorities in our evaluation, we have 1. All right, so 1 high priority, obviously we've talked about it, stops and starts. And now as we go through what we're trying to identify throughout the course of the year, maybe mid-season, we sit down as parents and we do another assessment. Okay, we talk with the coaches, or maybe I am a coach of an athlete. We've worked on these things. Am I seeing improvement? Like, this is what we want to see. We want to see a 4. We want to see a 5. We want to see a 6. We want to see improvement in these areas over the course of the year, and just visually gives us a good way to track it. Obviously, we have a place for notes, just in case we do want to keep notes. Maybe we're a parent and we want to talk with the coach. So we're going to talk with coach next practice about this skill, whatever it is that you want to keep track of. But again, really good opportunity, like I said, for parents to have a little bit more control and confidence in their players' development. So every single one of these skills that we've put in here, our subcategories and our assessment prompts, are things that coaches at every single level, as you go through the development ages, from learn to play all the way to kind of that U13 development age groups, these are all skill sets that are extremely, extremely important. So one we talk about lots, with our athletes, is that game awareness, this big one, the scans, pre-scanning, looking around before and during play to understand pressure. So these are really important ones. We want to make sure over the course of our development opportunities, especially our edges, our pre-scanning, all those kinds of things, these are real simple ways to track what really matters as they move on to the next level. So especially going into tryouts in the off season, assessing the player at the end of the season, maybe in the middle of the off season or right before tryouts, getting on the same page. This is exactly what coaches are going to be looking for as they go into tryouts as well. So really good tool to assess yourself both as a player and goalie. Our reference point, this is just, again, a referencing of all the tabs, our scoring categories. Either we're emerging at a 2 to 3, 4 to 5 is developing, 6 to 7 is consistent for this age, 8 to 9 strong for the age, and 10 excellent, consistent impact. The meaning of our priorities, high, medium, or low priorities, and then just an overview of kind of that dashboard summary on what the assessment average is, how many you've completed, and the areas of focus and the high priorities. So really good, Google sheet. It's easily downloadable within the Game Transfer Blueprint. That, again, you can sit down as parents or even with your athlete and go over this easy way to track either in-season development or out-of-season development and get on the same page and take control of your development.